Most people are alive, yet very few are truly living. They wake up rushing into days they don't remember, chasing things they don't need, and worrying about moments that will never return. But life, my friend, is not measured by how fast you move. It's measured by how deeply you feel. Every second you breathe is a sacred chance to taste existence, to listen to the wind, to feel your heartbeat, to look at the sky and realize you are part of something vast and alive. When you learn to enjoy every second of your life, you stop waiting for happiness to come later. You create it now, in this breath, in this moment. That is where freedom begins. Have you ever noticed how the world keeps moving even when you stop? The cars still pass, the wind still blows, the earth still spins. But when you keep rushing, you miss it all. You miss the quiet rhythm of existence that's whispering right beside you. Life is not a race to the finish line. It's a dance meant to be felt, a song meant to be heard, a story meant to be lived slowly, page by page. When you rush through life, you are like someone fast-forwarding through a beautiful movie. You see movement, but you miss meaning. Every time you wake up, the day offers you a silent invitation. Be here. But most people never open it. They are already in the next hour, the next problem, the next plan. They live in a constant state of mental traffic. Thoughts colliding, emotions honking, peace waiting at the side of the road. You can't enjoy your life if you're not inside it. The present moment is the only place joy exists, yet it's the very place most people abandon. When you slow down, you begin to notice what was always there. The sound of your own breathing becomes a reminder that you're still alive. The warmth of sunlight on your skin becomes a message from the universe saying, you still have time. Even the silence between your thoughts carries a sacred stillness, a doorway to peace that's always been open, but you were moving too fast to see it. Imagine standing beside a river. If you rush, you stir the water and all you see is mud and chaos. But if you stop, the river clears and suddenly you can see its depth, its reflection, its truth. Your mind is that river. It doesn't need more movement, it needs stillness. The more you chase after calmness, the more it escapes you. But when you stop chasing and simply be, clarity returns. Life becomes vivid again. The colors sharper, the sounds richer, the moments heavier with meaning. Slowing down is not about doing less. It's about being more. It's not laziness. It's awareness. It's the realization that you don't have to run to reach happiness, because happiness is walking right beside you, waiting for you to match its pace. When you eat, taste. When you walk, feel the ground beneath your feet. When you speak, listen to your own words. When you breathe, know that this one breath is proof of life, and that alone is enough reason to be grateful. There will always be more things to do, more goals to chase, more deadlines pressing against your peace. But if you never learn to slow down, your life will become a blur, a collection of unremembered days and unfinished feelings. You are not meant to live that way. You are meant to feel your life, not just survive it. The present moment is your teacher, your sanctuary, your truth. Everything that matters exists here. Your breath, your awareness, your power. So the next time you catch yourself rushing, stop. Just stop. Close your eyes for a second and feel the air moving in and out of your body. Realize that this single moment, right here, is enough. The trees don't hurry to grow. The ocean doesn't rush its waves. The stars don't race to shine. Yet they are perfect in their timing, complete in their stillness. Be like them. Move slower, breathe deeper, live fuller. Because when you slow down and become present, life doesn't pass you by. It opens itself to you. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. The simple becomes sacred. And you finally realize that the miracle you were chasing has been here all along, waiting for you to arrive. You suffer most, not because of what happens, but because of how tightly you hold on to what you cannot change. You fight storms that were never meant to be controlled, trying to bend the wind to your will. But the truth is simple: and liberating. You were never meant to control the wind. You were meant to learn how to stand calmly within it. The more you try to grip life with force, the more it slips through your fingers like water. When you finally let go, when you allow what must flow to flow, peace begins to return. Think about how much of your energy is wasted trying to rewrite moments that have already passed or trying to predict moments that haven't yet arrived. You replay conversations, you analyze people's actions, you worry about outcomes that exist only in your imagination, but the past is gone. It's a shadow that cannot be reshaped. The future is mist. It has no form until you walk into it. The only thing you truly own is your response, your energy, your attitude right now. Detachment is not indifference. It's the highest form of inner strength. It means you care deeply, but you no longer crumble when things don't go your way. When you detach, you don't stop feeling. You stop suffering unnecessarily. You stop giving your peace away to people's moods, to other people's opinions, to outcomes that were never in your control. Imagine standing in the ocean. The waves keep coming, some calm, some violent. If you try to stop them, they'll crush you. But if you learn to float, if you move with them, you'll find that the same ocean that once terrified you now carries you effortlessly. That is the art of detachment, flowing instead of fighting, trusting instead of grasping. There is immense freedom in saying, "This is not mine to control." You begin to see how much lighter your heart feels when you release the need to fix everything and everyone. Not every situation demands your reaction. Not every emotion deserves your energy. You are not the master of the world. You are the master of your own inner state. When you realize this, a calmness begins to settle in your spirit. Suddenly, the noise of life doesn't shake you so easily. You begin to live with grace, to act instead of react, to choose peace even when chaos surrounds you. People will disappoint you, circumstances will change without warning, plans will fail. That's the rhythm of life. But if you cling to every rise and fall, you'll be tossed endlessly between joy and despair. Detachment teaches you to find balance, to stand steady even when the ground beneath you trembles. It's not about closing your heart. It's about opening your awareness. It's understanding that everything comes and goes. Success, failure, pleasure, pain. They are all visitors, and none of them are meant to stay forever. When you stop trying to make the temporary permanent, you finally taste the beauty of peace. So when life challenges you, don't tighten your grip, soften it. Don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead ask, "What is this moment trying to teach me?" That shift changes everything. It turns resistance into understanding and chaos into wisdom. You cannot control the wind, but you can control your sail. You cannot command the storm, but you can command your mind. And when you master that, nothing outside of you will ever have the power to break what's within you. Let go of what isn't yours to hold. Release the weight of the uncontrollable. Stand in the center of your being and let life move as it must. When you do, you'll realize that peace was never missing. It was only buried beneath your need to control. The moment you stop clinging, the moment you surrender, life becomes light again. Because the secret is this: you were never meant to control the flow. You were meant to become one with it. Have you noticed how the most beautiful moments in life are often the quiet ones? The ones no one else sees, the ones that cost nothing, the ones that simply are? A cup of warm tea on a cold morning, the soft sound of rain against the window, the laughter of someone you love echoing in a still room. These are not grand events. They are gentle reminders that peace does not hide in what is complicated. It lives in what is simple. The problem is, you've been trained to look past them. You've been taught that happiness must be chased, that it must look impressive, that it must be earned. But the truth is far softer, far deeper. Happiness already surrounds you. You just have to slow down enough to see it. When you learn to see beauty in simplicity, you awaken to the richness that hides in ordinary life. The world is constantly trying to convince you that more means better, more possessions, more recognition, more noise. Yet the more you add, the less space you have to breathe. The mind that is constantly chasing cannot appreciate what it already has. It is like filling a glass with water that's already full. The overflow creates only loss. But the moment you pause, when you begin to strip away what is unnecessary, clarity returns. You begin to see how the smallest things, the play of light through a window, the way your breath warms the cool morning air, can become doorways into peace. Life's beauty doesn't announce itself. It whispers. It speaks in silence, in stillness, in moments that most people rush past. Look at nature. Nothing in it tries to impress. The mountain does not shout its height, yet it humbles you. The flower does not demand to be noticed, yet it draws your eyes. The sun does not brag about its power, yet everything depends on its light. True beauty has no need to perform. And when you align yourself with that same simplicity, your soul begins to breathe again. You realize that peace is not something you find, it's something you allow. Simplicity is not about having less, it's about needing less. It's not about emptying your life, it's about filling it with meaning. You start to notice how much energy is lost trying to maintain appearances, chasing validation, or comparing your journey to others. But when you choose simplicity, you take your power back. You stop needing to prove your worth and start living from it. You discover that joy is not in owning everything, it's in appreciating anything. There is deep strength in being content with little because it means nothing outside of you can disturb your peace. The simple heart is unshakable. It finds beauty in what others overlook. When you truly begin to see, you realize that you don't need the perfect day to feel alive. You just need to be awake to the one you already have. Every moment, no matter how ordinary, holds something sacred if you are present enough to witness it. So slow down, look around you. Listen to the small sounds of life, the rustle of leaves, the hum of the wind, the rhythm of your breath. These are miracles disguised as routine. Let them remind you that beauty was never hidden. It was just buried under your distractions. Life is not trying to overwhelm you. It's trying to reach you. When you learn to see beauty in simplicity, the weight of wanting fades away and the light of gratitude begins to rise. You stop searching for reasons to be happy because every second becomes a reason in itself. The world no longer feels ordinary, it feels sacred, and in that sacred stillness, you finally understand. The most extraordinary way to live is to fall in love with the simple moments that everyone else forgets to notice. There is a quiet war happening inside many people, the war between gratitude and complaint. Every day, you are faced with a choice to see what's missing or to see what's already here. The moment you wake up, your mind decides which side to feed, and whichever one you choose, it grows. If you feed complaint, you fill your world with bitterness, frustration, and noise. But if you feed gratitude, life begins to feel lighter, richer, more alive. Gratitude doesn't change what you have, it changes how you see what you have. It's easy to complain. The world gives you endless reasons to be dissatisfied. The weather isn't right, the job isn't perfect, the people around you don't behave the way you want them to. But complaining is like breathing in smoke. It fills your mind with poison, and you begin to suffocate under your own thoughts. The more you focus on what's wrong, the more wrong you begin to see. Gratitude, on the other hand, clears the air. It shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's already working. It reminds you that even in imperfection, there is grace. Look around you right now. There are countless things happening that you take for granted. Your lungs are working without effort. Your heart beats faithfully, second after second. You have eyes that can see, ears that can hear, and a mind that can imagine. You are surrounded by air that gives you life. You walk on a planet that sustains you. These are not small things. They are miracles repeated so often that you have forgotten to notice them. Gratitude is simply the art of noticing again. It's the moment when you realize that what you already have is enough. When you choose gratitude, you stop being a victim of life and start becoming a student of it. Every situation, even the painful ones, carries a lesson. When something doesn't go your way, gratitude whispers, "There's still something to learn here." When someone hurts you, gratitude reminds you, "Now you know what to rise above." Gratitude transforms obstacles into teachers and pain into wisdom. It doesn't deny the struggle, it simply refuses to let the struggle define your state of being. The truth is, no one can be truly miserable and truly grateful at the same time. The two cannot exist together. Gratitude is light, complaint is shadow. When you bring light into a room, darkness disappears. The same happens inside you. The moment you begin to count your blessings instead of your problems, your energy changes. You walk differently. You speak differently. You begin to attract peace instead of chaos. People around you feel it too because gratitude radiates. It doesn't hide. So when your mind begins to complain, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, what am I still thankful for? It might be something as small as the sound of laughter, the taste of clean water, or the simple fact that you're still here, still breathing, still growing. Gratitude doesn't require perfection, it only requires awareness. And the more aware you become, the more beauty you see in things you once overlooked. Life responds to the energy you bring to it. If you meet it with complaint, it gives you more reasons to complain. If you meet it with gratitude, it opens itself to you, revealing treasures that were invisible before. The difference between an ordinary day and a blessed day is not what happens, it's how you see it. So let gratitude replace complaint. Let it fill the empty spaces of your heart until there's no room left for bitterness. The world around you won't instantly change, but you will. And when you change, everything begins to feel different. The sky looks brighter. The small things begin to matter again. Life, once dull, becomes luminous. Remember this truth. When you live with gratitude, you don't just survive. You finally begin to live. In a world that never stops talking, silence has become the rarest form of wisdom. You live surrounded by noise, voices, notifications, demands, thoughts that never stop echoing. The world tells you to stay busy, to keep moving, to fill every empty space with something. But silence is not emptiness. It is not absence. It is presence. Pure, undisturbed presence. When you spend time in silence, you begin to hear life itself breathing. You begin to hear yourself. Silence is the language of truth. It's the space where the mind stops shouting and the soul begins to whisper. But most people fear it. They turn on the television, scroll endlessly, talk without purpose, anything to avoid the quiet. Because silence reveals things you've buried. It makes you face the thoughts you've been running from. Yet what you fear in silence is exactly what will heal you. The noise you create outside is often just a reflection of the chaos you refuse to face within. But when you sit with yourself, when you allow the world to fall still for a moment, something powerful happens. The fog begins to clear. Imagine a lake after a storm. The surface is rough, the water murky, the reflection broken. But when the wind stops and the waves settle, the water becomes calm, and suddenly you can see your reflection clearly again. That's what silence does to your mind. It clears the ripples of confusion, it stills the emotional waves, and it shows you the truth that was always there. In silence, you meet yourself without disguise. Your fears, your hopes, your dreams, your pain. And the deeper you listen, the more you begin to understand who you truly are beneath all the noise. Silence is not an escape from life, it is a return to it. You begin to notice the rhythm of your breath, the sound of your heart beating, the way your thoughts rise and fall like tides. You realize that peace was never something you had to find. It was always within you, waiting for you to stop long enough to feel it. Every great transformation begins in silence because that's where awareness is born. The world moves fast, but the soul moves slowly. If you never pause, you'll never hear its voice. You don't need a temple or a mountain to find silence. You can find it in the early morning before the world wakes, in the quiet of a walk alone, in the pause between two breaths. Even in the middle of chaos, you can create a moment of stillness by simply closing your eyes and listening. Silence is not about the absence of sound, it's about the presence of awareness. It's the place where thoughts lose their grip and being takes over doing. When you spend time in silence, you stop reacting and start understanding. You see that most problems are not as large as your thoughts make them. You see that peace doesn't come from controlling everything, it comes from surrendering to the moment. In silence, wisdom grows, patience deepens, compassion awakens. You begin to move through the world with more clarity, more calmness, more strength. So give yourself the gift of quiet every day. Step away from the constant noise, even if only for a few minutes. Let the world spin without you for a while and discover that nothing truly important will fall apart. Listen, not to others, not to your fears, but to the still voice within you that has been waiting to be heard. Because in that silence, you will remember what it means to be alive. The world teaches you to chase peace. Silence teaches you to be peace. And once you learn to rest in that stillness, no noise outside can ever disturb the calm within. There comes a point in every life when holding on begins to hurt more than letting go. You think that by holding on to the pain, to the betrayal, to the memory of what they did or didn't do, you're protecting yourself, but in truth, you're only keeping the wound open. Forgiveness is not about them. It's about freeing yourself from the weight that keeps your heart from breathing. You cannot enjoy life fully while dragging the past behind you. To live in peace, you must learn the sacred art of release. Think of your heart as a river. When it flows, it's alive, clear, powerful, full of movement. But when you hold on to resentment, it's like placing stones in that river. Each grudge, each unspoken anger, each replayed memory adds another rock. Eventually, the current slows, the water darkens, and the river begins to stagnate. You feel heavy, tired, disconnected from joy. Forgiveness is simply removing those stones one by one until your heart flows freely again. It is not weakness, it's wisdom, because you finally understand that peace is worth more than pride. Forgiving someone does not mean what they did was right. It doesn't mean you forget or pretend it didn't hurt. It means you choose yourself. You choose to stop allowing the past to steal the present. You choose to stop poisoning your mind with what cannot be changed. The longer you hold on to anger, the more it burns you from the inside. The flame you aim at others consumes you first. But when you forgive, that flame becomes light. It illuminates your path forward. It reminds you that strength is not in vengeance, it's in liberation. There will always be people who disappoint you, moments that break you, words that leave scars. You cannot control what others bring into your life, but you can control what you carry with you after they're gone. Some people are meant to be lessons, not lifelong burdens. When you learn to release them, you create space for new peace, new growth, new beginnings. Forgiveness is not something you do once, it's something you practice daily. It's the quiet decision, again and again, to unclench your heart. The same applies to yourself. You must also forgive the person you once were. The mistakes you made, the times you didn't know better, the moments when fear or pain made you act against your own truth. You are not that person anymore. The past version of you did the best they could with what they knew then. To live fully now, you must stop punishing yourself for who you used to be. Self-forgiveness is the doorway through which healing walks in. When you forgive and release, something extraordinary happens. The world becomes lighter. The colors seem brighter. The air feels easier to breathe. You realize how much of your energy was trapped in resentment, how much time you've spent reliving what should have been left behind. And then, in that release, you return to the present moment, the only place where life actually happens. So take a deep breath. Think of everything and everyone you've been holding in your heart. Feel the weight of those memories. Then let them go. Not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve freedom. Release the anger, the guilt, the pain. Let it all fall away like leaves in autumn, making space for something new to grow. Because forgiveness is not about changing the past, it's about transforming the future. It is the quiet strength to say, "This no longer has power over me." And when you finally release what's been holding you down, you rise lighter, freer, unshaken. That is when you truly begin to live, not chained by what was, but liberated by what is. One day, everything you call your life will become a memory. The people you love, the moments you take for granted, even the breath you're taking right now, all of it will pass. But most people live as if they have forever. They rush, complain, chase, and forget that every single second is a gift that can never be repeated. To live as if each moment is a gift means to wake up each day with eyes wide open, to realize that you are surrounded by miracles disguised as ordinary things. The air you breathe, the heartbeat that keeps you alive, the sunrise that paints the world anew, all of it is a silent blessing, quietly waiting for you to notice. Life is not measured by how much you have or how far you go. It's measured by how awake you are while it's happening. Every moment carries a hidden beauty, but it disappears the instant you stop paying attention. The morning light on your face, the sound of laughter, the taste of your food, the stillness before sleep, all of it is a chance to feel alive, but you miss it when your mind is lost in what's next. You keep waiting for better days, not realizing that this very breath, this simple now, is the better day you once prayed for. To live as if each moment is a gift is to treat time as sacred. It's understanding that nothing is guaranteed, not tomorrow, not even the next hour. You begin to see that the small annoyances, the delays, the imperfections are all part of this fleeting masterpiece called life. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this moment?" Gratitude becomes your natural state, not because life is perfect, but because you've realized that being here at all is a miracle in itself. Think of how fragile this existence is. A single heartbeat, a single breath separates you from eternity, yet you are here, right now, capable of seeing, feeling, creating, loving. When you truly grasp the impermanence of life, you don't become fearful. You become free. You stop wasting energy on anger, on comparison, on trivial worries. You begin to treat each interaction, each sunrise, each silence with reverence. You start to live with the tenderness of someone who knows that every moment is both precious and temporary. There will be days when life feels heavy, when it seems that joy is far away. But even then, if you pause and breathe, you'll find small moments of beauty hidden in the chaos, a stranger's smile, the sound of rain, the calm that follows a storm. These are the quiet reminders that life never stops offering gifts. It's we who forget to unwrap them. Living this way doesn't mean ignoring pain. It means seeing light even within it. Because every experience, even the hard ones, carries wisdom meant to help you grow. The truth is, you don't need to wait for special occasions to celebrate life. You don't need everything to be perfect before you start appreciating what's already here. The real celebration begins the moment you decide to see the sacred in the ordinary, to treat every sunrise as your first, every breath as your last, and every person as a part of your journey, however brief or lasting it may be. So, live as if each moment is a gift. Look around you with eyes that see, with a heart that feels, with a mind that's awake. Let the present moment be enough. Don't just exist, experience. Don't just breathe, feel alive. Because the truth is, life is not something waiting to happen. It's happening now. And once you learn to live in that awareness, you will never again waste a single second of this priceless gift called time. You must remember, life will not always move the way you want it to. People will change, seasons will pass, Time will take what it must. But peace does not depend on the rhythm of the world. It depends on the rhythm of your heart. Learn to walk gently through your days. Speak less, listen more, expect less, appreciate more, worry less, trust more, love quietly, forgive quickly, and breathe deeply. Don't wait for perfect moments. Make the moments you have perfect through your presence. Every second that passes is a piece of your story that will never return. So do not waste it in regret or in comparison. Instead, fill it with awareness, with gratitude for what is, rather than sorrow for what's gone. Look around you. The sky, the breath in your lungs, the people who still walk beside you. These are gifts far greater than anything money or success could ever offer. Life is happening now. Don't miss it waiting for something better. Let your days be a reflection of mindfulness. Rise with peace, move with intention, rest with gratitude. If anger visits you, do not feed it. If sadness arrives, do not fight it. Let every emotion come and go like clouds in the sky, temporary, fleeting, and full of lessons. Because when you stop resisting, life flows naturally. You begin to understand that happiness was never something to chase. It was always something to allow. And when life feels heavy, close your eyes and return to your center. Remember that you are part of something vast and sacred. You were born from stillness, and one day you will return to it. So live with gentleness in your heart. Offer kindness without measure, gratitude without reason, and forgiveness without conditions. The more light you give, the more peace you receive. Now, take a deep breath. Let it remind you of how precious this moment truly is. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still being given the chance to begin again, right now. May your days be calm, your heart steady, and your mind clear. May you walk through life with eyes that see the beauty hidden in the ordinary. May gratitude become your language, forgiveness your strength, and silence your teacher. And may every breath you take remind you of the sacred truth. Life is not something you endure, it is something you embrace. Go and live, not as if time is endless, but as if each second were a prayer. Live fully, live deeply, and above all, learn to enjoy every second of your life.